Yes guys, I'm back again with another video, and as you can see, I'm absolutely fuming. I'm annoyed. I'm really annoyed. Liverpool 1, Newcastle 2 in the Carabao Cup final. I mean, where do I start? I'm gonna be here trying to make sense of it all in this video, but if I miss out on anything or if this goes on a tangent, then please bear with me. I'm gonna try and explain as much as possible, but honestly, that was an absolutely shocking display from Liverpool, you know. By no means did I think we were gonna just coast Newcastle and beat them quite comfortably. No, it's a final, but that performance was absolutely dreadful. I mean, we had the perfect opportunity to make up for that Paris Saint-Germain defeat by winning this cup final. You know, it wasn't gonna be easy, but to put in a performance like that was horrific. And before I go any further, I just want to say congratulations to Newcastle. They absolutely deserved it. They fought very hard for that victory. Eddie Howe finally getting over the line with Newcastle. They lost the final, the Carabao Cup final, a few years ago to Manchester United, and they got over the line this time, and well done to them. 2 fantastic goals. Dan Burns from the corner, brilliant header, and Isak, clinical as ever, absolutely clinical. You know, he had a goal disallowed just moments before he found the bottom corner with that great finish, and they defended well. They were just better than us today. I can't believe how poor we were, but let's just talk about the game in more detail. I mean, if you're new to the channel, feel free to like and subscribe. And yeah, man, I just couldn't help but get it off my chest right now, because usually I do my reviews maybe a day after or so, but this is by far the most disappointed I've been, you know, since I've started the channel in terms of Liverpool. And yeah, like I said, we were just not good. The opening few minutes, Newcastle put the pressure on us, you know, and like I said, we never really recovered. And I was just thinking to myself, let's just get to half-time, still level in the final, but we just didn't sort ourselves out in the corners, you know. Like I said, Dan Burns was winning almost every single corner, you know, but Dan Burn, I should say, he was winning every single corner, and I kind of called it just before half-time. That corner, I knew he was going to get his head to it, but you know what, I still thought, yeah, we're gonna get to half-time 0-0, but that was a fantastic header, to be fair to him. I mean, McAllister marking him, I mean, that is a mismatch, honestly. I don't know what we were thinking there, but yeah, we're 1-0 down during the break. We come out in the second half, and honestly, nothing improves. Newcastle look the more likely to score. They keep pushing. As I said, they had the goal disallowed through Isak. He wasn't offside, but it was obviously, I think it was Guimaraes who was blocking the sight of Kelleher, and he was in an offside position, so I can see why that was disallowed. But moments after, the cross comes in, and yeah, it lands perfectly to Isak, who finishes in the bottom corner. As soon as that goes in, I've lost all hope. I just don't think, obviously time was still on our side, but we were not playing like a team that were going to score, never mind even come back into the final. And that's how it proved out to be the case. You know, it proved to be the case. We were absolutely shocking, and I'm just lost for words. As you can see, this is my raw reaction to the game, and we've missed an opportunity here, you know, to bounce back from the Champions League exit. And make no mistake, if I have to compare the two, it's night and day. This is by far worse. Losing this final is by far worse than losing to a top PSG side on penalties, you know. And that's not to say Newcastle are a bad team. You know, Newcastle have ended their trophy drought. This is a historic moment for them, and like I said, they fully deserve it. You know, they've worked really hard for this. Eddie Howe is such an underrated manager as well, and yeah, kudos to them. But from Liverpool's point of view, absolutely shocking, honestly. We didn't improve that much in the second half. I think as soon as Harvey Elliott came on, you could see we were starting to create more chances, and Chiesa was also lively, I have to say, when he came off the bench. Obviously, the signing hasn't quite worked out, you know, but I'm surprised that Slot hasn't used him enough off the bench, because he is a player who can make an impact. You know, he scored that goal to pull one back for us, but it was too little too late for Liverpool. Great ball from Elliott, by the way. He was onside, Chiesa, he converts it really well, but it was too little too late. And from that moment, there was only a few minutes to go. Newcastle saw out the game, and yeah, man, my overriding feeling is one of huge disappointment. And we've got an international break coming up, and I think that comes at the right time. And if you go back just a few weeks, the first leg against Paris Saint-Germain, I've done a review on these games. It wasn't good enough. We won the game, but the performance was quite worrying. I could accept that because PSG were brilliant, you know, despite losing that game. And then we go 1-0 down to the worst team in the league, Southampton. Yes, we turned it around. We won the game, but you know what? These kind of performances were starting to creep up a little bit. And although we were better against PSG in the second leg, we lost the game ultimately, and we didn't win the shootout as well. So, like I said, this was the perfect chance, the perfect opportunity to bounce back. And guess what? We didn't, you know, and that's the disappointing aspect of it here. And like I said, now we've just got to dust ourselves down. We've got 9 games remaining. We will be Premier League champions, but until it's confirmed, I can't really be out here, you know, celebrating or this or that. I know deep down we are going to get it done, but right now we've just got to focus on the task at hand, you know, and it's just such a disappointing feeling, you know, to lose this cup final to Newcastle. But once again, congratulations to them. They deserve it, you know. They absolutely deserve it. They fought for it, you know. We did not react. We did not show enough of a response in the second half, and yeah, I just thought overall everyone was really poor for us, to be honest. There was nothing Kelleher could have done about the 2 goals. They were brilliantly taken. The front line did not perform. Jota, once again, absolutely anonymous up front. Mohamed Salah, I think, could have done a lot more as well. But like I said, yes, Salah hasn't been at his best in these last few weeks and games. But our attack has relied on him way too much. I think the others need to step up and do more. Luis Diaz today, unbelievably poor, you know. He failed to get the better of Kieran Trippier, you know, and Kieran Trippier was, you know, he didn't look right. He had a bit of a hamstring problem as well, and he still managed to cope just fine against Diaz, so Diaz was not good. Our midfield, I thought, was, again, overrun. Joe Linton, Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes were fantastic for Newcastle, and yeah, I thought McAllister had an iffy game, Szoboszlai iffy, you know, Gravenberg, we just didn't click at all, you know, and I don't know what it is. Is it tiredness? It's definitely not complacency. It must be a bit of fatigue kicking in, you know. But all in all, this doesn't dampen the season. It just dampens the mood this week because we had an opportunity to retain the Carabao Cup. But as it turned out, Newcastle got the win, and they thoroughly deserved it. Let's not even kid ourselves here. They absolutely deserved it. And yeah, we just have to move on. Like I said, we've got 9 more league games remaining, but we've got to look at those as 9 cup finals, you know. Yes, we have a 12-point lead at the top. Arsenal did beat Chelsea earlier today with Mikel Merino scoring a header from the corner to cut the gap from 15 to 12 points, but it's more or less the same. We have a fantastic lead at the top, and we've just got to get the business done next month or whenever it is and reward ourselves with the Holy Grail, which is the Premier League title. And, you know, once that's confirmed, we will forget about the disappointment of Paris Saint-Germain at Anfield. We will forget about the disappointment of losing this cup final. This one really hurt a lot more. Let's not cap, because it's a final. You don't want to lose a final when you get there, especially a team as experienced as Liverpool, you know. But the one guy I'm not going to blame too much, the one person I'm not going to blame too much is Arne Slot. It's his first season. He's reached the first cup final. You know, these things can happen. He will grow, he will improve, and he will win us cup finals in the future, I would hope, definitely. He's a fantastic manager. 2 games do not define our season, but it's just been a terrible week, and it's disappointing not to be in the Champions League quarterfinals, but I can kind of accept that because we lost to a fantastic Paris Saint-Germain team. But Newcastle, as good as they are, we should be beating them in a final, and I can understand if it's a tough final, because it was, but we did not show a reaction, and yeah, there's really not much else I can add to that, really, because they fully deserved it. But let me know in the comments what you thought of the game if you've watched it, and where do Liverpool need to strengthen in the summer. Like I said, I've been saying it for weeks. I have never really talked about the quadruple or the treble too much. I always maintained we were capable of winning it, but I've never once gone out and said we are going to win the treble, we are going to win the quadruple. No, I always thought our bare minimum was a double, you know, and that's disappointing. But make no mistake, if you had asked me at the start of the season in August, you are going to win the Liverpool are going to win the Premier League title and nothing else, I would have bitten your hand off that. You know, I would have taken that quite easily. So the season is absolutely phenomenal. That does not change, but we just need to get over this disappointment, you know, look at ourselves in the summer, make the right signings, sign a striker, a backup left back, not even a backup left back, a main left back. Kerkez would be brilliant, for example, and the centre back, you know. And yeah, let's just go from there. I might be making a separate video on the transfer window and what we need, and, you know, talk about a few other footballing topics if and when I get the time to do so. But yeah, man, just to conclude, it was a very bad day for Liverpool at Wembley. You know, normally we win these finals, but to be fair, it's Slot's first final. Liverpool were showing signs of fatigue and not really being at their best lately, and that's what happened to us. And Newcastle fully capitalised and played really well. And congratulations to them for ending their trophy drought. They really, really deserve it. And Eddie Howe has finally proved that he's the man for Newcastle. He has built them up, and credit to them. Honestly, this is nothing less than they deserve. They really fought hard in this game. But from a Liverpool point of view, we will go again after the international break. It's the Merseyside derby to kick off one of remaining 9 games in the Premier League. And we are, at the end of the day, we're going to have a big parade at the end of the season, and we will win the Premier League, that's for sure. And nothing can change that. Nothing can change that. I do feel a bit down in terms of this performance and this final and the result itself, but all in all, Liverpool are in a healthy position, and I cannot wait until the Premier League is wrapped up and confirmed for good. But yeah, this is just my review. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Like I said, feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Win, lose or draw, up the Reds. And yeah, man, at the end of the day, we are the best team in England, and we've shown that time and time again. It's just been a terrible week, but we move on, we assess where we went wrong, and hopefully we're going to have a big summer. You know, let's not even lie, winning the league title should not paper over the cracks. And yeah, we're going to be back, and we're going to be back stronger. Up the Reds.